Well, hello, wonderful educators. Welcome to Oasis for Teachers. And on today, I want to talk about something that is so very vital and crucial for your health. It is actually the foundation of health, and that is your sleep. So today I'm going to give you hacks, those tips that are going to help you to get a very, very restful night's sleep so that you'll be refreshed and ready for your students the next day. So let's talk about it. Hey, it's Jael Waters, your Oasis mentor here. And again, welcome to Oasis for Teachers. It is a place where we are helping teachers to become the whole educator. They are overcoming and preventing teacher burnout through intentional self-care in 5 areas: their body, mind, spirit, finances, and relationships. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and share this video with a teacher bestie of yours who you know is not getting enough sleep. So listen, I know as educators, and we talk about this so much, a lot of times it is so hard to turn our brains off at night. We're thinking about lesson plans. We're thinking about, hey, how could we have done this thing differently? I've been having a lot of observations lately. So sometimes I'm thinking like, what could I have done better? What am I going to do better next time? Man, I wish I would have done this. Man, could have said that better. But we're pondering or we're thinking about all of these things that happen during the day. And a lot of times it can affect our sleep, or we're just staying up way too late. But I want to talk about today the foundation of health, sleep, and why it is so very important. And then I'm going to give you some hacks, some really great tools that you can use to help you to get a full night's sleep. All right, let's get into it. All right, first I want to just talk about just what the research says. I mean, I didn't realize until I started really digging deeply into just health and wellness practices how important sleep is. You can do all of the things. You can work out, you can eat well, you can even do self-care. And you know, I am all about the self-care. That's what we do here at Oasis. But if you are not getting the proper amount of sleep, I'm telling you, those things are not going to get you to that wholeness that you want to get to. Let me talk about some of the things that happen while you're sleeping. So the research says that during this time, your brain is clearing out toxins. Your brain is processing information. This is the time that the memory, that information that you learned during the day, it's actually going into that long-term memory. That is the time that learning is actually occurring. Have you ever been struggling with something during the day? And I know athletes understand this. And I remember this too when I was a student or when I was in school. I would be studying and studying and studying, during the day or after school for a test. And then maybe I'm doing flashcards or a study guide. And I'm like, I'm not getting this. And then you go to sleep and the next day it's like, oh, I remember what I was learning about. Because as you sleep, that is when those memories are forming and learning is actually happening. Your muscles actually grow and build in the rest. They're not growing when you're working out. When you sleep and when you rest, that is even when muscles are forming and building. It happens in the rest. So also those hormones that are regulating your hunger and your mood and your stress, during the time that you're sleeping, they are getting balanced. Also, your cells are repairing themselves and your immune system is being strengthened. And I think that's why a lot of people, when they're not getting enough sleep, their weakened immune system is susceptible to more illness. And that is literally the bridge into just what I want to talk about next, which is what happens when we don't get enough sleep. First of all, I know every single one of us have felt this during the day. that brain fog. So if I don't get enough rest, and I know you know what I'm talking about, and we're trying to teach the students, it's like we're in a fog. I'm trying to find my words. I'm tired. I'm fumbling over things. Guess what? When you don't sleep like you should, you are more irritable. You manage stress more poorly. You are not as patient. That is really a thing. Rest helps with all of those things. Also, when you're not getting the amount of sleep that you need to get, there's also an increased risk of anxiety and depression. And also on the physical side of things, heart disease, diabetes. Guys, that's a big deal. So, because sleep is so important, I want to give you a hack today. This is a rule that I learned about, and I think it's going to be really beneficial for you. And it's easy to remember it because, we're all about mnemonic devices and things to help us remember. So, it is the 10-3-2-1-0 rule. Okay? The 10-3-2-1-0 rule. And let's talk about it so you can remember it and you can incorporate these things into your life. All right. So first thing, the 10 part of the rule, the 10 sleep rule. 10 hours before your bedtime, I want you to cut out the caffeine. It is crazy. I had no idea how long caffeine stays in your system. And listen, it could be hours and hours and hours after you have consumed caffeine, that it is still in your system and it is still affecting your sleep. So set a certain bedtime. You want to try to go to bed at the same time each night and get up at the same time every morning. Your goal is 7 to 9 hours, and work between that. When you feel more refreshed, when you feel like that's a good amount of sleep. Set that bedtime. And then 10 hours before that, stop drinking or stop consuming caffeine. That's the 10. All right. Here's the 3. 3 hours before your bedtime, you want to stop eating heavy meals and stop drinking alcohol. I know. That can be challenging. And even as you get closer to your bedtime, if you want to have a light snack, that's fine. But that dinner, that really, really heavy meal, you don't want to eat heavy meals before you sleep because that can disrupt your sleep. And I'm telling you, I know so many teachers, I mean, an abundance of teachers that drink alcohol daily because we're using the alcohol to try to manage that stressful day. Hey, let me have a glass of wine. It helps calm me down after work. Multiple glasses of wine. It calms me down after work. We go out on Fridays after work and we're consuming margaritas and it's the whole thing. I get it. I know, I'm a teacher. Been there, done that. I haven't drank alcohol in a very long time. When I found out what alcohol does to your sleep, I was like, it's not really worth it. I was like, and I learned other ways to calm myself down that won't disrupt my sleep and won't do damage to my body. So sleep has detrimental, I'm telling you, effects on your sleep. Now, it is a depressant. So it is going to feel as though you are calming down, and you do, and it makes you feel sleepy. But alcohol, it disrupts the sleep patterns, the patterns that help you go into that deep sleep. And when you awake, that will help you feel rested. And in that deep sleep, all that repair is happening. All of those things that your natural body needs to repair itself in that deep sleep, it does not happen, or it is a lot of times disrupted. So I'm telling you, you might not realize, or maybe you do, after you drink alcohol, do you feel more rested when you wake up? Usually, no. We feel calm and sleepy, but when we wake up, we're still usually really tired. That is because drinking alcohol disrupts your sleep. I know. I might get some feedback on that one, but it is what it is. All right. So remember, that is the 3 part of our rule: 3 hours before bedtime, no heavy meals, and no more alcohol. All right. Here is the sleep rule number 2, 2 hours before bed, shut off the work. Stop grading papers. Stop doing lesson plans. And you know what? You can even, just in general, if you're still thinking about work, your body doesn't know, and your mind, they don't know you're not working anymore. So you're going to have to do some type of, psychologists suggest that you do some type of transitional activity to let your brain and your body know, like, hey, I'm not working anymore. That's why they suggest not doing work in your pajamas or not doing work in your bed. So you know at a certain time, okay, I'm going to change my clothes. I'm going to go take a bath. I'm going to put on my pajamas. I'm going to put on my workout clothes. I'm going to close the laptop and do a certain thing. And it's really cool if you'll do the same thing every day. I mean, it trains your brain to know, boom, it's time for work to stop. Telling you, it really, really works. So 2 hours before your bedtime, I want you to stop working, or research says stop working. It's going to help your mind start relaxing and preparing to go to sleep. All right, so 1 hour before bed, you want to turn off the screens. And I know this one is a challenge. This was really, really challenging for me. So that's turning off the television. Your laptop should already be closed because you're not working. Put your phone away. Put the phone away. I literally had to put my phone in another part of the room so that I wouldn't pick it up. But whatever you have to do, put it in another room. If you have to, put it in a drawer. And 1 hour before bed, actually take that time to turn off the television and put your phone away, because that blue light and just being on that screen, it's still keeping your mind engaged to the point that it's going to be challenging for you to fall asleep. So 1 hour before bedtime, no screen time. And I'll also suggest just a little bonus in there. And I got this from Mel Robbins. Love, love, love her. She talked about going to bed 30 minutes earlier than your bedtime. So, all right, being transparent, I go to sleep at 8 o'clock. My bedtime is 8 o'clock because I wake up at 4. I know I have a whole morning routine. Didn't it used to be that way? If you want to see how I got to that point, check out another video. But I go to bed at 8. I get up at 4. 8 hours is good for me. So I make it a point to be in the bed before 8, because it takes a while for your body to wind down. So whatever your bedtime is, if it's 9 o'clock, if it's 10 o'clock, if it's 11 o'clock, and you're going from 11 to 6, which is 7 hours, I mean, that's awesome. That's good. Try to get into bed 30 minutes earlier to help you start winding down, because it's going to take you a while to go to sleep. Okay. And within that hour, you can take a bath, you can do some stretches, you can read a book, but just take away that technology. And if you're going to have a conversation with your spouse, partner, or children, any type of conversation, that's awesome. Just don't have any type of heavy conversation before bed that you know is going to be on your mind, is just going to stress you out before bed. And that's going to have to wait to the next day or another day. Let your mind be in a calm space. All right. I also got an alarm clock, and I don't use my phone as an alarm clock. So I don't have to look at my phone in order to get up in the morning, or look at my phone at night or anything like that. All right. Which leads me to the last one, which is the zero hack of what we're talking about as far as getting really great quality sleep. And that is to hit the snooze button 0 times. I know I am all about snooze, 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 snooze. There have been times I've hit snooze for like an hour. And I was supposed to get up at 4, and I hit snooze so much before I know it, it's 5 o'clock. And I'm like, because it's like I didn't want to get up. A lot of times though, when I hit snooze a bunch of times, I went to bed too late, or for some reason I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep. A lot of times when we're hitting snooze, it's because we're not doing the things before to help us to get that quality sleep. So if we do the 10, 3, 2, 1, that's going to make it easier to not hit snooze. Like I said, I also highly, highly, highly suggest an alarm clock so that you don't have to use your phone for an alarm clock. Because when you wake up, you don't want to look at your phone at least 10 to 15 minutes. Give your brain a moment to process, yourself a moment to wake up. Because once you start looking at your phone, especially if you're going on social media or checking emails, it's going to put you in a state that's not going to be what you need in the morning. Take time to have a morning routine. So, at all possible, I know that's really hard, but if you're getting the proper rest, it's going to be easier to not hit snooze. So just try that. Also, some really great things that you can do for your sleep is around that time, like within that hour before bed, start dimming the lights. If you can get a lamp or you have a dimmer, start dimming the lights. If you want to play quiet music at that time as well. As you sleep, some people sleep really well to white noise or to rain or to affirmations. That's totally fine as well. You also want to make sure that you are in a cool environment. It is harder to sleep when you are hot. So make sure that thermostat is turned down and it's cool. If it's cool and it's dark, that is the optimal place for your body to transition into sleep. Yeah, that's it. Those are the hacks for you. The 10, 3, 2, 1, 0. Here is the recap. So 10 hours before bed, shut off the caffeine. 3 hours before bed, no heavy meals, no alcohol. Yes, I know. I said no alcohol. That's where you're good. 2 hours before bed, stop working. 1 hour before bed, no screens, and 0 hitting of the snooze. Listen, if you have a teacher friend that you know needs to get better sleep, send this to them. I am so excited to share these tips with you because I want you to become the whole educator. Because like I always say, there is so much greatness in you. Go forth and be great. And I'll see you next time in the Oasis.